Hello my friends, this is Henriette from Pro-Am Strings. Today I wanted to talk to you about how you tune your violin, because I've noticed in my day-to-day practice I find that even players who are really quite advanced violinists sometimes have their doubts about how to tune a violin properly. Of course you can roughly tune a violin fine, but when it really comes to playing beautifully in tune and performing with great gusto and perfect intonation, requires tuning a violin really properly and really listening to your instrument. Over time you will get better at listening to what really is perfectly in tune. So learning to tune requires patience and determination, and I hope that I can share with you some of the exercises that I teach my pupils that will help them, that has helped them to get much better at tuning and therefore much better at playing in tune on the violin. My strategy for learning to tune better, learning to play in tune better as well, is first of all a 4-step process. One is learning to listen. Step 2 is to be willing to experiment with your tuning. The 3rd step is to be patient and to keep going. And the 4th step that I use is to practice more double stops. So let's begin by playing an A string with long bows, and I want you to keep this sound going for quite a bit, sort of half a minute or so. And I want you to practice this with me, so you can stop the video and perhaps practice this on your own. And so on. And what I'd like you to do is to really listen to that sound. Can you hear anything? Can you hear it being a beautiful even sound, or can you hear any ruffles or scratches, or what do you hear when you really listen? And you've got to take time to actually listen to it. And this idea of taking time to actually open your ears and listen really well is a key element to learning how to tune properly. So often I hear people tune like this, like that, and you'll hear that this violin is horribly out of tune. Anyway, we'll come to that in a minute. But you can't really hear properly if you play such short bow strokes. So I suggest that you learn to play with long bows first of all, and that will make a big difference already. So really listen to those notes going, to that note going, and listen if you can hear what's going on. Now once you're happy for this note to be free of any ruffles or other sounds, add an open D string to it, and again use very long bows. So you take your time and really listen to what you hear. If 2 notes are beautifully in tune, you will notice that the sounds are melting together and new sounds will emerge. Higher frequencies called overtones that emerge when you play notes together. So it may be that your 2 strings are out of tune and you can't hear the 2 strings melting together. But it may also be that your violin's perfectly in tune and you don't need to do anything to it. Now, if your violin's out of tune, good job, then we can work on this in this lesson, and this is where the experimenting stage begins. You may already know whether your note is out of tune or in tune, but as an exercise it may be handy to deliberately tune the note out of tune. So that you can hear whether you turn it, whether it gets better or worse. So I'm deliberately tuning my D string out of tune. I've tuned it a little bit sharper, just for practice as well. And now I'm going to lower it down, and I want you to listen to where exactly I need to stop. experiment a little bit in this video. I was first way too sharp, then I brought my D string down so that it matched the A string, and then I went way too far down so that it went back out of tune again, and then I brought it back up in tune. And this will help your hearing develop, and you start to listen to where really in tune is. Okay, if you are not that far advanced and you can't hear where in tune or out of tune is, a rough guide to help you find the rough in tune of a string is when you use pitch pipes or an electronic device to help tune your violin, and they'll be very useful in the early stages. And then as your hearing becomes more subtle, you will then hear when you tune two strings together. So keep on going and use your pitch pipes by all means, or your electronic device in the early stages, and that will help you develop your hearing there. So this way you go on tuning all the strings one by one, or rather two by two, as well in tune as you can. And next time you tune, you'll probably be better at hearing where in tune is than the previous time. So your patience and determination come in here, and you want to keep on going. And over time you may develop the strategies that you need to play in tune. Another technique that will help you get better at tuning is to practice double stops. They don't need to be very long or very difficult double stops, but any double stops you come across in your current music will do. And the idea is that you don't actually play all the notes as they are printed in your music, but for instance, if you finish a tune in D major on that octave D, I want you to take time, just as we did with tuning the strings, to really listen to that sound. And to go about this very slowly, experimenting, making it a little bit sharper, making it a little bit flatter, until you find that pitch perfect sound. Now we've come full circle. We've done all the tuning, and next time when you tune your violin again tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, start again from scratch, really listening to that one sound. And from day one to day two and so on, you may not notice very much difference in the quality of your tuning, but over time you will, and you will actually get much more acute hearing for practicing these exercises. And of course that is the thing that is required with any string instrument playing, is you've got to know what you're listening for in order to improve what you're doing. So I wish you good luck and lots of fun practicing tuning on your instrument. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, because we aim to churn out a new video every Wednesday, so you'll be updated as soon as new videos come out. Visit us as well at www.proamstrings.com. I look forward to seeing you there.